Welcome back to Top of the Chops. This week we're looking at Breaking Me by Topic and A7S. So this is a dance tune, but I'm not going to be doing anything production wise on this. I'm just going to be playing it on guitar. And I've got my trusty PRS Custom 24 that I'm going to use today. Now I'm going to be doing some fingerstyle stuff. Now you can obviously do this on an acoustic guitar, but I like doing it on electric as well. And seeing as this is right by me, this is what I'm going to use today. So make sure to subscribe, hit the bell icon, and let's go. Okay, I'm not going to lie, this is going to be a pretty tricky one. All the fingerstyle ones I've done in the past have been pretty tricky, but this is probably the hardest one even for me to play and get it under my fingers. Usually I do these videos on the Friday that the charts get announced, and then I have like the weekend to get it edited before Monday, so I've pretty much got a day to learn it, but a lot of the time I leave it till last minute. But yeah, so we're going to start off with the chords. I'll just show you the chords first and then show you kind of the melody on top. So when we're doing this fingerstyle, you're going to be doing chords and root notes with your thumb, and then index finger and middle finger usually. We might use this finger as well to play the melody. So our chords, we're in G sharp minor. So we've got a G sharp minor chord to start, and then it goes down to F sharp major, then E major. Okay, but sometimes we'll play that with this shape, so with the 7th fret on the A string, 6th on the D string, and then 4th on the G string. Okay, and then after the E, it goes back to the F sharp. Okay, so let's just look at the first part. It's going to be quite a long lesson, I think, with this. So we're going to do the chorus first, and then there's a post-chorus. So I've left the verse out just because, you know, the catchiest parts are the chorus and the post-chorus, and the chords are exactly the same for the verses. So for example, if you're learning this and you just want to learn how to strum the chords and sing over the top, then those are the chords that you'd use throughout the whole song. Okay, so this first part, we're going to take this G sharp minor and we're going to use our thumb. So we'd do the P, I, M, A, and we're going to do thumb on the bass note. So 4th fret on the E string, and then you're going to do the A string, D string, and G string of that chord. And I'll kind of pick each note very close to each other. So, but sometimes actually I play them all together. Okay, so the important thing for this is that we're going to have to get that slap on the snare. So we're going to do the percussive element with our thumb as well. So that kind of. And to do that, I just kind of take the side of my thumb and just slap it on the strings. If I'm holding a chord, it's going to ring out the chord. But if I don't want to do that, I'll just rest my fingers on the frets and get that kind of pop sound. Okay, so we're going to go. So hit the chord, hit the bass note again, and then hit the G string, and go down to the 3rd fret on the G string as well. And in between that, we're going to do a slap. So, okay, so the slap comes just before you move down to that 3. I'll do that slowly again. Okay, and it does that twice. Okay, I think I'll do something different with my fingers actually. Oh, okay, yeah, so what I do, I play the chord the first time, and then because I've moved down to that 3rd fret, I just play the bass note and not the full chord of the G sharp, and have my 3rd finger on my left hand on the 4th fret of the G string. So okay, and then I'll hit the bass note again, and then we move up to kind of a different way of playing that G sharp minor chord. So I do the root and the octave and then bar the rest of it, and I'm going to be strumming the E, D, G and B string. Okay, so it's still the minor chord, we just haven't got that 5th on the A string there. 5th interval, I mean, not 5th fret. Okay, and straight after that, we're going to put our little finger on the 6th fret of the G string. Take it off so it goes on the 4 of the G string. And then go down to that 3 again. So, and in between that again, we need another slap. So I do it while holding the chord. Okay, so our first kind of chordal section goes. So yeah, I accidentally didn't hit some notes there, but you get the idea. And then we move to our F sharp major chord. Okay, and it's the same sort of deal. So we're holding the full F major chord, but we're going to be playing the E, A, D, and G strings, and then we're going to be going down to the 1st fret on the G string. So we're going to do a root note after the chord, a slap, and then 3rd fret, and then 1st fret. Actually, the slap comes after the 3rd fret, just before the 1st. I hope you're following. It's quite confusing. Okay, and once we get there, I do a similar thing. I'm just going to be playing the root note now, rather than the full chord, but I play it with my thumb. Okay, and I think I use 3rd finger for the G string, and then hammer it onto the little finger, pull it off, and then go to the 1 with a slap just before the 1 again. So. And then obviously a bass note and a slap again to finish that bar. So all of it together. Okay, actually, rather than hammering on my 3rd finger to the little finger, I think I just start on the little finger and slide it up and down. But you gotta keep that middle finger where the 2 is. Don't let that move along as well, because otherwise you get, that horrible G note in there. Okay, then where do we get to? So instead of this, to finish the phrase, we go. Okay, so it's a bit more single note stuff. So it's the A string, we slide into 6, go up to 4 on the D string, and then hit 6 on the D string twice. But there's a slap in between the 2 6s on the D string. And I just hit the A and the D string because I'm already on there. It's just kind of resounding that chord. Okay, so that whole phrase. Okay, now this is where we go to that E shape there, so 7th fret on the A string, 6 on the D, 4 on the G, and we're going to have the E note in there as well. And I kind of go between chord, open E, 4 on the G string, slap, and then 3 on the G string. So same kind of thing as what you're doing with the other chord. But this time we do hold the chord for both times. Okay, and now we do the same thing that we did with the G sharp minor, G sharp minor to finish the bar, but we just hold our bar with kind of the 1st finger on the G and the B string, and then 6th fret with our 3rd finger, and we're going to use the E root note. Okay, so exactly the same thing, slaps in the same place. Put little finger down on the 6, 4, and then 3 on the G string. And then the final chord to finish it off is the same as earlier on the F sharp. And then we just end on that root note there. Okay, so that's your chorus section. The next section is maybe, I don't know if it's more simple or not. They're both really, really different actually. But I'll just really slowly show you that phrase again, because the video you would have seen at the beginning would probably be close to full speed. And it's a dance track, so it's quite up tempo. Okay, so here it's slow. post-chorus starts just before the next bar, so where that hangs. Okay, now this time we're going to kind of change our slapping technique because we're going to do more kind of melodies up on the high G, B and E string. We're going to use our index finger to kind of strike the strings as if it's a pick. So, and the way I do that, so I'm doing 4, 6, 4, 6 as hammer-ons on the G string, and then that's when the next bar starts, or essentially the post-chorus phrase starts. But I'm going and then slapping on the next 4. But how I do that, you can kind of see where my palm has landed on the low E string and kind of the lower strings, and it's just kind of flat on the strings. So when I hit that, you know, if I didn't do that, all the strings would ring out. So, okay. Now, obviously you've got to try and get that nice and neat as you're doing it, but it's another thing to think about, lots going on, but that's how it starts. So post-chorus. Okay, so we start with a G sharp minor again, but I'm going to use my thumb, because I'm already there with that melody up top. Okay, and I'm going to get 6, 4, 4 on D, G and B strings, and the thumb on the low 4 on the low E string. Okay, so this is kind of back and forth between the bass note and the slap and the index finger. So, okay, so you got your chord. Then you're going to put your little finger down on the 6, like earlier, the end of that phrase in the chorus. And as you do that, you're going to strike the strings as well as a snare. And then you've got 2 4s on their own, 1 4 on the G string picked, and then 1 strummed with that snare added. Okay, so now you're going to use your thumb for the D string. The 6 is already there. Okay, and you've got a quick hammer on from 4 to 6 on the G string, so first finger and little finger. And then really quickly a thumb on the G sharp on the low E string, 4th fret. And then a muted slap, so I kind of relax everything just to get a mute, okay? And that's your first phrase, and the end of that bar is the same as the end of the chorus bar, so where it goes. But this time we move to the F sharp major chord, and I again use my thumb on the 2nd fret E string, and I'm going to use D, G and B strings, 4, 3 and 2 frets. But I'm going to hammer on straight away a grace note kind of hammer from the 2 to the 4 on the B string. Ooh, don't get that open E in there. Okay, so hammer on, then take it off and do your strum, full chord. And then little finger on 4 on the G string, 2 of them, 1 picked, 1 slapped. And I pull that off to the G string, and at this point I can take my chord away because I probably wouldn't be able to do it otherwise. So I do. Okay, and keep that low thumb on the, the thumb on the low 2nd fret there. Let me show you this slowly actually. Actually, I usually probably, you have to see what I do on the video at the beginning. I can't remember if I use my thumb or my first finger there, but either way, we're just going between that and the 2 on the G string with a strum in there as well. So the okay. And again, we go back to that 4, 6, 4, 6 on the G string. And you'll start to know where the strums should come, but it's putting them in there because it throws the whole thing off. It's like learning a different riff, essentially. But yeah, so we get... Okay, and this time, this is where our E chord is. So we do exactly the same as we did on the first bar of this post-chorus, but instead of doing the thumb on the 4th fret, we're going to take it off the open E. Okay, so that's more like an E major 7. And do exactly the same thing as you did for the others, even the notes and strings that you pick and the strumming pattern and everything. I say strumming pattern, the picking pattern with the right hand. So but straight away after you finish it, go to the 4 on the D string, because this is where we're going to finish the riff. Okay, so we're going to go 4 on the D string, slide from 6 to 8 on the G string, back down, and then pull off to 4 on the G string. And then we're going to jump straight to that F sharp major chord again, and we're just going to use thumb and 4, 3, 2 on the D, G and B strings. Okay, so let's just recap that again from the E major 7 chord with the slaps. Now this is awkward because the slap comes in between the slide, so it's almost like you're hitting it again when you get there. And as soon as you get to the chord, there's one afterwards as well. These slaps can be a bit of a hindrance to your playing, but it makes it sound so much better. Okay, so from that E major 7 chord again, one more time. Okay, and you're going to slap the full chord again. And then this is interesting, you do a thumb, a low E string, 2nd fret. Do that grace note hammer to the 4th fret with the little finger again whilst holding the chord on the B string. Pull it off, and then pull it off to open B as well, and then hammer it back onto 2 again, but with a slap in between. So as you pull off the 4 to the 2, there's 1. But I usually just slap the lower strings there because, you know, the A string's being muted, and then you just get your bass note with the E. Actually, where's that last slap come? Oh, okay, I'll just do a root note bass, a root note with the 2nd fret on the E string with my thumb on the right hand, and then strum the whole chord with a slap again, so another snare. So okay, and then that's it. So yeah, watch really, really slowly again. Make sure you're focusing on my right hand as well as my left hand, because that's maybe even more important this time round. And yeah, hopefully you can see my right hand. I think it's in decent enough shot. But yeah, obviously go back to the beginning of the video again at the end, and you'll be able to see it full speed as a full close-up shot. So really slowly. Okay, and then we finish off with just a little lick. So I'm pulling off. This is actually a vocal melody in the song, and this is before the verse starts, I think. Actually, I think the chorus comes in again, so. See how different that groove is to the post-chorus. So mixing them together is a nightmare as well. Once you've got each individual part, playing them one after the other is quite tricky. Okay, but yeah, that's that last lead bit. I go 4th fret on the G string, pull off to 3, 6 on the D string, 3 on the G string again, and then slide from 4 to 6 on the D string. And I'm just doing that between my thumb and my index finger. Okay, so I thought I'd give a very detailed kind of version of how I would play this. Some of these kind of dance tunes are really, really good to do, but if you haven't got like a drummer or a production in the background, or if you've not got like a resource to put some drums down, you're not going to have as much groove going on with the guitar. And with an upbeat dance track like this, you kind of want that pulse in the background. Obviously you can get some fake drums and play along to them, or get a drum sample, or go on YouTube and find someone playing drums at this sort of tempo and play along. That's all good. But if it's just you and your guitar, it's quite fun to kind of have that kind of snare going on in the background as well. But it's really, really hard. So yeah, hopefully there's some of you out there that will enjoy this lesson, and you know, the chords are there, so if you want to just strum them on an acoustic guitar, you can always do the sort of kind of you know, any sort of strumming pattern you want at that tempo. And if you're a singer, you can sing along over the top as well. So they're the chords: G sharp minor, F sharp major, E major, back to F sharp major. Okay, go have some fun with it. Thanks for watching this Top of the Chops. I'll hopefully see you next week.